Welcome, y'all. It's your boy, Freaky Zeke, Xavier, X Fact, whatever y'all feel like calling me. Got 1,000 names. Here to bring you first episode of Books in the Hood.
In the time, and Shorty can't eat no books. He flipping yay now. They gave him 100 years cause he need no brown of the playground.
It's called Books in the Hood for many reasons. Because I'm from the hood and I read books. So you see me out 9 times out of 10, I got a book, maybe two. Like it's my damn pistol or something. And I hear it so often, niggas don't read, black men don't try to educate themselves. Well, look, I'm one black ass man. You see my shit in the background. I'm trying to break the norm, pass on some knowledge to my brethren. Break us out of that funk we've been in for 100 years, especially back at home. And it's my Instagram. If you check it out, the books I read, hashtag on Books in the Hood. For the same reason, so people in the hood can see that some books out there and some knowledge. Before I get started, I want to say shout out to the Everyday Theory. Shout out to Maya Lanier. She just dropped her blog, MayaLanierLove.com. Shout out to Judy or Outspokenly Brave. It's a lot of, female empowerment going on over there. Shout out to Jam's playlist, Hip and Critical, that's the website. You check us out on Tumblr. It's all coming soon, hella content. Episode 1, book 1, we're going to talk about Dom LeRay's A Million Heartbreaks. I read it on Kindle, on the ebook. From Dom LeRay, she's an author from Detroit. It's not her first book, but it's one that brought her a lot of attention. She's won a lot of awards. She's doing a lot for rape survivors, sexual abuse victims, pretty much what the book's about. After, the first chapter in the book of real, you know, traumatizing scene to read. Just imagine how bad it was for the main character. She grew up to face more abuse from people that she cared about or people that she thought cared about her, and she grew up scared, mad at everyone, mad at herself, and she pretty much became a hustler. She was beating life so life couldn't beat her. She had a rent scam going on. She was finessing the checks out the office. But no matter what was going on with her, she always made a way, or a way always made her. She didn't stay down for too long. She got caught with some weed or whatever, and she ended up beating that circumstance. Nothing could really hold her down for too long. Even life prior to beat her up so bad, and she went and met her auntie, and it turns out that her aunt was also sexually assaulted by members of the family, and it turns out that that was a sick tradition to say in their bloodline. I guess the men in their family just thought it was something like that was okay. So Basil and her auntie went to the church. I guess her uncle or was a pastor. They interrupted the service and exposed them. This is just no, it was a Christian church, and I guess to say that it also says it's in the book that it exposes a lot of things that happens in a Christian church, mainly a black Christian church, because you never know who's who or what's what or what their intentions are. A lot of people can hide behind the robes and hide behind the cross to be real monsters. And Basil, she felt bad about interrupting the service, but she felt as if it had to be done. And if you ask me, it wasn't the right thing, but I guess it was the right thing. But the right thing in a wrongish way. She most definitely made her impact. Say what she had to say. A major, a major character in this book is Basil as a child in her adult life. She looks at herself in the mirror and she goes back and forth. And Big Basil and Little Basil, they have confrontations. They were very confrontational towards each other. And towards the end, she realizes that forgiveness is the best thing to do. You know, no matter no matter what this person may have done to you, forgive them for you. Don't do it. Don't live life letting that hold you back or letting it, put chains on your mind. It's best to, I know it's hard. I pray if I have a daughter, it doesn't happen to her. You gotta let it go so you can move on. Don't be a victim of the circumstance, cause you can't change it, but you can. It changes you, but you can't change the fact that it happened. And I guess what Don was trying to say in the book was, you have to make the change after it changes you, so it doesn't weigh you down your whole life, so you can figure things out for yourself. And Basil has a brother in this book. His name's Daniel, and at the beginning of the book, he was there with her when shit hit the fucking fan, and he that was her guy. Brother sister, hella love going on with that. He was almost her opposite, and she was telling him about a family member or someone that they were close to that did something to her in the past. And he was like, since I got you, I'm about to go take his ass out. I'm about to go pull the trigger on his ass. And towards the end, when she started to really, forgive herself for her mistakes and forgive everybody else for what they did to her, she was really at peace, you know. And she called her brother, and the bro said the deed is done. You know, it's over with. You ain't got to worry about him no more. And that was a good part in the book, if you ask me. You know, even though bro wasn't so willing to forgive, at least not yet. Maybe if she would have told him to call it off, she actually, kind of forgot that they had that talk. And once it was all said and done, she was like, wow, what's next? Absolutely love A Million Heartbreaks. Shout out to Dom. She's one of my idols, young black from the city. She wrote a fucking book and it did numbers. Shout out to her. I actually never met her in person before. We only talked via text message and over Instagram. What I like most about A Million Heartbreaks is it's a lot of character development. For you see how she developed as a child, how she developed as an adolescent, how she developed as an adult, and she even developed even more as an adult after confronting herself as a child. Looking in the mirror and having that talk with herself. You know, I think everyone should read this book. Not just saying that it's very informative. It's very, it's real. Like I said before, and we live in a sick world. And I can't lie, I was reading this shit like, man, this shit is so sad. It's so depressing. But it's real. Real life is depressing. It's sad. I think this book is a real nice bite of reality for everyone because you know you never know who's gonna do what until they actually do it. And Million Heartbreaks really got me opening up my eyes to a lot of situations, a lot of people I've seen. Uh, you know, keeping my P's and Q's up. Not for the future daughter I'll have, for my nieces, for my cousins, for everyone. I'm just keeping my eyes out for the predators. My rating system is I give a book up to 4 X's. If I'm reading them, that means I like them. So most books will probably get 4 X's. I'm going to give Lime Luray, A Million Heartbreaks, my first 4 out of 4 X's. For the story, for the character development, for the poetry, and for the cliff she left us on at the end. So be ready for another one coming from Dom Lorray as soon as she can get it out to you. Shout out to you, Dom. I hope you're doing all right. Y'all have a good night.